He wiggled himself out of something in the third inning, only gave up a run. But it was nice to see Gleyber Torres get involved offensively, and that was a bomb. That was exactly at the right time. And this is like, it comes on a night where Aaron Judge really doesn't do much. Stanton doesn't do much. And this is what a team's supposed to do. You got to pick each other up, and you got to come up in big spots. And Luke Voit hit a home run, too. I mean, he's another one that's been, kind of quiet. But
wasn't after the game, was he?
No, he wasn't. But when you hit that ball that high up into that Western Metal Supply Company building, because I've been at that stadium, and that is a bomb. I mean, that is just like, he caught it absolutely perfectly. Torres did. And it was, from that point on, it was basically shutting the door down. And Britton was great. And I thought Ronnie and Brian Anderson did a good job of like, all right, why are we taking Britton out right now?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, really. And then you had to have Chapman sit down and come back, and the Yanks did tack on a run, and I was thinking, would they still bring him out with a 4-run lead? And they did, which seemed to be the right thing. Yeah, that I didn't quite understand. I don't know. I didn't hear any Aaron Boone after the game explaining that move, but it didn't hurt him. Nothing hurt him last night. And by the way, another guy that I have to mention, I did not mention yet, Kyle Higashioka behind the plate. How many runs did he save last night? I mean, Jordan Montgomery.
And he had 2 hits.
Jordan Montgomery's bouncing balls all over the place with runners on base. All the time. Every other pitch is in the dirt, and you're thinking, there's a pass ball, there's a pass ball, there's a pass ball if it's Gary Sanchez. So another great decision because, it didn't have to be Higashioka last night, especially with the Yanks maybe wanting to get a little more spark offensively, and they stuck with him.
And
they finally stuck with him.
And he knocked in the 5th run.
Yep, absolutely.
He ripped one down, between the shortstop and third baseman. It was hit hard. His second hit of the night. I mean, look, he may become the unsung hero of all of this because of what he's doing behind the plate. But, the fact is he's getting hits, too. He's giving you offense. So it's almost as if, Gary Sanchez is in the rearview mirror unless somebody gets hurt. And, then we'll see what happens. But, Gerrit Cole, this is the first time he'll have worked on 3 days rest. And, of course, Tyler Glasnow has never worked on 2 days rest. So it's
not the first time ever, is it, for Gerrit Cole?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I thought he had maybe at some point before this. Wow. All right. Man, oh man, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but and Glasnow's coming on 2 days rest. So
yeah, but he'll probably just throw like an inning or two, right?
Right. These are normal throwing days for these guys anyway. I mean, I don't know what they're expecting from Cole. I think they'd like to get 5 or 6 out of him. I don't know if Chad Green is going to be available tonight, maybe for an inning or two, but everybody else seems to be locked and loaded and ready to roll, and it was good. And I know that you're talking about touching the money. You're talking about Luke Voit after the game.
Yeah, so Luke Voit came out and just flat out said it. It wasn't a casual, backhanded touch the money. It wasn't something along the lines of like, well, we feel really good about the game and we know that the ALCS starts on Sunday. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't like, well, we'll have a day off, with the ALCS on Sunday. Well, not a casual, backhanded, let me step into touching the money. It was, quote, we're going to win it. Gerrit on the mound, that's the best situation possible for us. We're locked and loaded. We're going to win it. That's a guarantee. And that is, I happen to love this stuff. I think it's great. You can't stand it, although, ironically, the greatest moment in your franchise's history of your favorite team in the world, in the New York Rangers, came with a touch-the-money moment with Mark Messier.
That's a little different.
Oh, of course it's different.
It's a little different. Sure. He was brought in as a mercenary, and he had to lead, and he had to lead publicly to let his locker room and his fan base and everybody else know that it's going to be okay. I got this one. And thank God Mike Richter showed up that night, too, by the way. Yeah,
where do you categorize this one, then?
Well, he ain't no Mark Messier. I know Mark Messier, and he ain't no Mark Messier. Does not have the championships, does not have the rings that Mark Messier had in his past. So,
he led the league in homers. Led the league in homers this year. Had a homer last night. He's playing through an injury. He's a leader. He carried this offense when everybody else was hurt.
You know what?
He's a leader on this team.
Just pull a Reggie Jackson, hit 3 home runs in a game, win a World Series, and then come talk to me. All right, that's the way I look at it. All right, when the man was on the back pages of of all the tabloids here in the same city in which essentially his opponent plays and says we're going to win this game, and pulls a Joe Namath for real, and then goes out and scores a hat trick. I mean, there's something to be said about that. That's what you are above touching the money. You are allowed to touch the money because of your recent past and history and what you've already accomplished. So all he was trying to do is take us all off the ledge and just to relax us, and certainly he did. But Game 7 wasn't anything that didn't live up to expectations, and that's why I think Game 5 is going to live up to expectations tonight. Two teams, going back and forth. I have to say, like you, I'm not a Yankee fan, but I was happy that they won. I'm happy that they didn't go out with a whimper. That would have been absolutely a disaster. They did have the bullpen game yesterday, even though they only used 3 pitchers in the second of it was like, they almost, like Kevin Cash was almost like giving up. Like, if we get some hits, it'll be fine. But, we're going to leave these guys in there, and then we're going to load up for tomorrow night. And we're probably going to see 5 or 6 pitchers from the Rays, and at least 4 pitchers from the Yankees.
Yeah, and I think that it's really good. I know that Britton had, he got 5 outs last night, but he had a little bit of time off. He was great. Chapman, of course, he ends up getting 4 outs last night, and he hadn't pitched in 8 days, I think it was, prior to this, so you felt like he's going to be okay. So you know that those guys will be fine pitching on back-to-back days and then multiple innings in a winner-take-all situation. Chad Green's the interesting one, man, because he was just awesome last night. And I'm sure that every Yankee fan was nervous when you saw that he was the first guy out of the bullpen, and Jordan Montgomery, who was, he wasn't cruising, but he was getting the job done, and you see Chad Green come in, was like, oh, man, I don't know, he hasn't been good, but he was great, and he gives you 2 innings of basically stress-free baseball. So is he available again, and for how long, and can you trust him is a big question. But who knows? I don't know what to expect out of Gerrit Cole on 3 days rest, especially if this isn't something that he has a history with. Maybe he is just so locked in, and this was not a long, arduous season for him, just like it wasn't for anybody else, that he gets out there and feels as good as he ever has, and he feels like he's on full rest, and then he's mowing people down, and he can give you 8 innings. That is a possibility, too.
Here's what you don't want. You don't want Arozarena taking him deep in the first inning. This is the one thing you don't want. You don't want to see home runs, because that's been a little bit of his nemesis this year, the home run ball and all that other stuff. And you just hope that his arm feels good, and he's got, he's jacked up. This is what he's brought here for. This is what he was given a $320 million contract for. This is it. This is the moment. And I said that, the first game out against the Indians, all right, he had his great start to what would hopefully be a great Yankee legacy. I think he struck out 13 in that game and didn't walk anybody, something only Tom Seaver had done at that point. Didn't have a great game in game one. I gave him, after he gave up a couple runs, he shut him down, and that's all good and fine. But, it wasn't a dominating performance, and you hope tonight on 3 days rest that you're going to get a dominating 5 or 6 innings out of him. That's what you're hoping.
Yeah, or more. Or more.
Well, I think you're asking. I think you also have to remember. I know, but listen to me. Just please listen to me. I know that the thought is, let's go out there and let's throw 110 pitches. They're not doing that. He's got a 9-year contract with the Yankees, and you always have to take all of this into account. And obviously, if he's got a low pitch count after 4 innings, they'll continue with him. But if the Rays, foul a lot of balls off, he's walking people, he's giving up home runs.
Yeah.
And, and the Yankees got a 2-1 lead, and they're in the 6th inning, and he's got, 95 pitches. He's coming out. It's all going to be about his pitch count and all that other stuff.
I'm not so sure. 110 pitches, 95 pitches, that to me is not a ton. If he's getting up around 125, 130 on 3 days rest, then that's crazy. But you're telling me that 95 pitches, they're going to just pluck him out of there. It's a game. It's a deciding game 5.
It is, but it's not. This is not CC Sabathia for the Milwaukee Brewers, who knew that they were going to lose him after the season was over. They didn't care after that. This is the Yankees, who have a lot of money invested in this guy. And I would think he's probably going to go somewhere between, depending on how he is pitching, right? Everything should be reacted to in real time. So we could sit here and talk about hypotheticals. Sure. But if hypothetically he's pitching well and he's given up a run or 2 in 6 innings and he's up around 95 pitches, that's when he's going to go. That's when he wants to go to his bullpen, and that's when he wants to go get his arms that showed themselves last night and why they're there and why they're in high leverage situations. So that's the key. I can't imagine him really going 85. I see 85, 90. I can't imagine him going over 100. There's no way.
Well, yeah, but as you said, it's situational. You don't know. How do you get to that 90 pitches? What inning is it? All those things. You really don't know until you watch it. But one thing's for sure, this is his game. Tyler Glasnow, I don't believe this is his game. This is a throw day for him. He's not going to give you more than an inning or two. I would be shocked if you saw Tyler Glasnow in the third inning, which I think is a good thing for the Yankees. And by the way, I like the fact that you're getting him out of the way in the game because he is their best pitcher. And even if he gives you 2 innings to start, it's like, fine, get him out of there, and we'll go to work against the rest of the Rays pitching staff. But Gerrit Cole, with the extra day rest, having 3 days rest as opposed to 2, rather, with Glasnow. This is a Gerrit Cole game. This isn't an opener. This is a Gerrit Cole game.
Right, and just remember, Kevin Cash, I think, could have started Glasnow in Game 1, but didn't.
He didn't. Yeah,
right.
Went to Snell
because he wanted to stay away from Gerrit Cole and Glasnow matchup, meaning that he wanted Glasnow. He expected Glasnow to win his game.
Sure.
And because this is a 5-game series. And because it's 5 straight days, this is what happens. And this is why I think this is great. I think, now all of a sudden, I'm forgetting about the 60-game series. I have a 60-game season.
Oh, yeah.
I'm forgetting about that.
I know.
Now this is like real baseball. This is real. You got to go out there and earn it. You got to go out there and do it. And, all the other 3 series are already over with. And, the Dodgers made mincemeat of the Padres. And the Braves did their thing. So and of course Houston was just hitting bombs all over the place yesterday. So they're all waiting. They're all waiting to get started in their championship series. And this game tonight is basically going to come down to whether or not Gerrit Cole, I believe, at least lives up to his money for 5 innings. That I want to see at least a top end 5 innings. I always tell you, pressure is a privilege. This is why he came here. This is why he wanted to wear the pinstripes. He's 2-0 in his first 2 starts, and now it's up to him to come in here and lock this down and move on to the ALCS.
Yeah, I thought that it was awesome last night. At the end of the game, TBS is putting the camera on him at the top step of the dugout where you go down into the clubhouse. Like, he was just like itching to get back in there, to get, he has to talk to the media as the next day's starting pitcher, and you see him, he's a little antsy, he's focused. I thought that was great that they put the camera on him, because that's what it's all about, and a Yankee fan has to love that, where you're winning a game 4, you got a winner-take-all game 5, and then boom, the camera's right on Gerrit Cole, your prize free agent possession that you brought in for this exact situation, and he's starting the game the next day.
And the last time we saw him in an elimination game situation, he was pissed off. He was pissed off because A.J. Hinch didn't use him against the Nationals.
That's right.
He was pissed off. He's like, he wanted in that game in the worst way. They didn't use him. So now comes the elimination game that, he wanted to be a part of against the Washington Nationals. So it's everything that you want as a baseball fan. If you're a Yankee fan, you're probably sitting on pins and needles. But as a baseball fan, this is what I want. I mean, I want a 5th game, and I want big guys doing their thing for their teams, and hopefully they live up to their contracts and expectations.
Yeah, Yankees need a lead. That's the way I feel. I know this is an obvious statement, but the Yankees, when they get out to a lead, it just feels different. It feels like they press when the Rays start churning out runs and the Yankees are playing from behind. And the Yankees did, end up getting a lead. It should have been more with the bases loaded after the Voit home run and the bases loaded, nobody out. They only got 1 run with the LeMahieu sac fly. But if they had broke that open, it would have been a lot easier last night for sure. The same thing's got to happen tonight. They have to jump on the Rays somehow, some way, and it's going to be tough against Glasnow because he's got that lanky, his legs are going everywhere, his arms are going everywhere, he's throwing 99 miles an hour. It's not going to be easy, but it feels like the Yankees play more focused, more calm, more relaxed, more in control, even if it's just a 1-run lead. It's just amazing the difference there. And by the way, Gleyber Torres, who fouls the ball off of his leg in the at-bat before he hits the home run so hard that he needs like 3 minutes to gather himself You know, he's down. He's got Baron Boone coming out. He's got the trainers coming out. You thinking Brian Anderson on the broadcast say, well, if that's a shin, he turned into an orthopedic surgeon all of a sudden. If that's a shin, it could be a problem. If that's a muscle, then it's not so much a problem. It's just going to be a bruise. It's going to be a big bruise. And he was in so much pain. He flies out to the warning track in that at-bat, comes up next time not limping at all, and launches one that goes to the very top balcony of that little hotel situation that they have up there.
It's not a hotel.
That guy, whatever it is.
That's not a hotel. That's a former
thing, whatever.
Well, it's a former metal fabrication warehouse that they built into the stadium and left it there, and now it's a place where you can go and have parties and sit out there. It's not a hotel.
All right, a little party deck.
So
whatever
they have like
hell.
3 or 4 party decks, and that thing is awesome. By the way,
you know the point.
I know the point. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're saying. All right, so not only that, so we got the Yankees to talk about. It's also a football Friday. A lot of things going on in the NFL. A lot of scheduling changes. A lot of different things happening. Everybody's got their eye on the Tennessee Titans. Everybody's got their eye on the New England Patriots. Everybody's hoping that these teams are going to end up being healthy. But we're going to have 2 Monday night games next week. And we are also right now scheduled to have a Tuesday night game.
Tuesday evening game.
Right, so a Tuesday night game on CBS. Well, no, it's actually 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on CBS, Eastern Standard Time. It'd be 6 o'clock down in Nashville.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So
I guess I read the press release wrong.
Well,
okay.
it's Tuesday, 6 o'clock down in Nashville. So here it's 7 o'clock. So
all right, nice.
All right, so that means Week 5 is already jumbled up. But, you got Denver, New England going off at 5 o'clock on Monday night. You got the Chargers and the Saints going off at 8:15 on Monday night. So ESPN essentially has a doubleheader. So I'm sure they're happy to have a doubleheader. And then we at CBS, Tuesday, October 13th, have Buffalo at Tennessee at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And then, of course, you have your full slate of games on Sunday. But it's an ever-changing world, man, and everybody's got to adapt to it. There can't be any excuses. People are going to try to fight through this thing. I think Tennessee's got about 20 players on their COVID-19 list, and, it's because of their behavior that they're in this situation. And I'm glad that they're going to try to play this game because, they're going to be obviously shorthanded. The Bills are one of the better teams in the NFL. And, the other thing, too, you have to remember, if the players don't play, as I understand it, they don't get paid.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.